Well, hi, everyone. Welcome to the Light Your Dream team training that is going to focus on the catalog fundraisers tonight. This will not include any training on the custom labels. We'll do that another night. So everything that we'll go over will be pertaining to the catalog fundraiser. And all of this information is going to be found on our team training site, miabellatraining.com. And that's what you should be seeing on your screen here. You can see in the address bar, Mia Bella Training. And the way that I got here, so when you come into the training, this is the heading, and then I got to move everybody's beautiful faces out of the way. Okay, so here's the fundraising tab. Just click on that. Now there is a recording that is on the site. I did not have time to review that. It's something that corporate did, so hopefully that information, is still accurate. But if you do listen to it and if something seems off or you don't understand, then obviously just ask and we'll clarify that. But this is the picture of the new 2022 fall winter fundraising brochure. You can see it has the new labels there, and it's kind of neat in that it does describe why Mia Bella candles are different and unique. And then you'll come down here to this catalog fundraisers and the link, how to run a simple catalog, classic catalog fundraiser, as opposed to a custom. All right, so I spent quite a bit of time this week basically just writing out all of my thoughts on the topic. Hang on here, my mouse isn't moving. It's so weird that these Zoom calls, it like takes the mouse control, so I have to plug it in. Okay, here we go. I got to go back to the fundraising and running it. Okay, so just a little bit of the history and why Mia Bella's does fundraisers. So 20 years ago when they started the company, Bob was a parent of Michael, who was doing basketball and various sports as a kid, and they had done a candle fundraiser with the inventor of the Mia Bella candles, and they weren't called Mia Bella at that time, but they kind of hooked up with Carmen and did very well with raising funds for their activities. And that's when Bob kind of went, I think there's something here. And that's when he and Charlie kind of started discussing the benefits and profitability of candles, and that there could be money to be made in developing a business that would fundraise with the. So it's always been part of our history. There are some people that, especially in the early days, that really primarily focused on that the primary method of their business building. Others that have never done it, and others have tried it. So with the new move in the company, we are putting a lot more emphasis in fundraising, and so we want to make sure that you understand how to do it, because a lot of the leadership and the trips, the rewards that will be coming are based upon your personal volume. And obviously, as an individual, it's hard to meet some of those numbers in just purchasing product yourself or selling it, from your website. In order to get those higher PVs, personal volume, the way to do that is through fundraising, because when you sell, thousands of dollars in candles, that all gets added to your personal volume, and that gets you points towards the trips. So we want to, even as a team, do a little bit more emphasis on fundraising. So I know it can be a little bit scary, just because it's not typical of here's a candle, you just sell it. There are some steps, and I want you to all feel comfortable with doing it, because I really want us to push towards it so that we can all get to the trip, vacation together on the beach, have a good time. Yes. And besides that, it's wonderful to be able to help these organizations, and with inflation and all that's going on right now, everybody's struggling, but especially, those groups where the cost of everything has gone up. They're, trying to do their activities, and still stay involved, but it's costing a lot more money to do that. So we have a wonderful opportunity to help these organizations make money. And we offer $8 profit, and it's not a donation. I mean, they work for it. They're selling the candles, so they are actually earning, $8 per candle. And that is really huge in the fundraising world. If you go out and do some searches online for various products, if you can get a couple bucks out of an item that you sell during a fundraiser, that's much more typical. So the fact that Mia Bella's is giving $8 per candle is huge. So we need to do a better job of getting the news out there to our local communities, whether they're nonprofits or mission groups or adult leagues. We've just got a great opportunity for that. So I just kind of want to, and some of this I'm just kind of going to read to you, but all of this information that I'm going over is on our Mia Bella training site. So if you miss something, don't catch it, then for sure, just go back to the training site after, and it's all gonna be there for you. Okay, so here's a fundraising group idea. You can click that and it'll open up to some suggestions. And I kind of went over some of the groups there, but just even as you're driving around town and you see something, or you see something in your local newspaper or something online in one of your community Facebook groups, and talking about a need to raise funds, that's your light bulb. I need to reach out and contact this person. And the company is very much going to be leaning towards these candles for a cause. So like right now we're working with the suicide prevention, next month it'll be breast cancer. So you've noticed over the year, a lot of those special label candles that are going to a particular theme. We had the autism. So all of those candles that are sold from our websites the company is giving $2 to their local organization in Pennsylvania. Obviously corporate can't give out money to every community. So they're going to give, the $2 from the suicide prevention candle to their organizations. But then, we need to reach out in our communities and find groups that could benefit from our efforts in selling. So, that is an option too, as well as, like I said, the custom candles where you might be building a specific label for a dance studio. So we'll get into that. That's a little bit different. I want to start with the easier aspect of the catalog. And it's really all laid out there for you in the brochures that you can purchase from the back office. And I showed you the front of it. I'm going to take a picture. I wanted to take a picture of the order form and I forgot that on here. But basically what you want to do is make your list of those and a contact and make a goal for yourself. Okay. Get an idea of who you're going to call, how many people in a week, how many people in a day. You need to set your own goals that, 3 days a week, I'm going to contact 2 organizations and I'm going to present the opportunity to do a fundraiser with the candles. Okay, you want to schedule an appointment, hopefully to see them in person, because you want them to be able to, smell the candles and really experience it. But one of the very first things you want to start with is showing them the potential. And while, I said $8 a candle sounds, really amazing, when you start to put that together as to how much the group can make. So you can see in the chart here that if you had just 10 participants selling 10 candles each, that's $100. And if they make $8 per candle, the group is able to make $800 very quickly. And then it just kind of works its way down. So you'll work with the coordinator and figure out how large their group is. So those larger groups where, maybe you have 50 members that are participating in the selling, and then they set a goal to, each sell 10 candles, which isn't very much. By the time they kind of go through their family and, even really their family, they can sell 10 candles easily. So that's 500 candles times $8. That's $4,000 that's, given or earned by the organization. So that's some significant funds for a lot of the organization's goals. So you want to kind of start with letting them know what is the potential, get them excited that there's money to be made by doing a fundraiser, with you. And you want to give the coordinator a professionally prepared fundraising packet. You're going to include an example of the order form that they would be using. a coordinator's letter that basically introduces them to Mia Bellas and explains some of the benefits and why we're different. And, if you've done a successful fundraiser, or if somebody else on the team has one to share, print off a couple of those so that they can see that people are having success with these. So besides the ability to show them how much money they can earn, one of the second biggest benefits is letting them burn a jar. So you want to take one of the fragrances that they'll be selling for their fundraiser and let them have the jar. Now, this is going to be a write-off to you, so don't worry that, oh my gosh, I'm going to let them have a jar. That's what's going to get them excited and involved and commit to your fundraiser. So, depending on the size of the organization, or how many coordinators, or how many, committee meetings that they need to have in order to make this decision, give them 1 to 2 of the 16-ounce jars and let them burn it. Okay. And then you're going to also want to purchase the fundraising samples. Those are the set of the 15 scents that are selected for each season. So right now we've got the fall and winter. There's a specific 15 scents. And again, remember, this is your business and you can do whatever you want, however you want. But, we really find that success comes from simplicity, black and white, and duplication. So the company will pick the 15 best sellers for fall and winter and include them then in this set of scents and listing in the order form. Now, you can again order those in your back office. This is something that you will leave with the coordinator for them to share with the committee or the participants, and let them smell and get excited about the scents. This is something that you will get back from the group. You don't have to give them these 15 scents. Keep it for your next fundraiser and presentation. Now, when you are working with the coordinator, you want to get really clear on what their goals are and why do they want to raise funds. I've seen where, you get some groups that just say, well, we just want to earn some money. And that's just not nearly as motivating to the participants, to the sellers. Yeah, great. Let's make some money and it'll benefit our program somehow, some way. But when you get really specific, I know that when my daughter did a dance studio fundraiser, and we did both a catalog and a custom label years ago. And, and people would ask when she would be out selling, and they'd say, well, why are you doing this? Why are you trying to earn money? And besides it sounding much more legitimate than, oh, I don't know, we're just trying to make money. When you're telling your potential customers that, well, we have a goal that we are going to attend a competition, out of state, and we need funds for travel. And then the buyer's like, oh, okay, well, that's a great reason. So yeah, I'm willing to help you and participate in, you earning your funds. So if you can get the group to be very clear, if it's a preschool or something and they're trying to raise, equipment for playground equipment or something like that, get them very tuned into what the money's for, how much it's going to cost, and then setting a goal. If we need to earn $4,000, well, how many candles does that mean that we need to earn? And if we have this many participants, how much should each participant aim to sell? Okay, so when you give them a goal, then they're going to do that. If you get a seller that doesn't know what they're trying to achieve, it's not going to happen as successfully. So if you tell each seller your goal is to sell 10 candles, that's what we got to aim for. That will get us to our goal. That will get us the ability to purchase the equipment, take the trip, do what we need to do. So get them really crystal clear on that. And while it's not necessary for the distributor to provide extra incentive, it is helpful, especially if you are working with younger sellers. They get excited about being motivated to be one of the top sellers. So providing a gift card to a pizza place or an activity entertainment center or something in your community. It doesn't have to be a lot, but just something that maybe is a little extra for them to try to achieve. Okay, so once you get the coordinator to say, yeah, we are interested in doing this, sounds like great money, sounds like a great product, especially right now in the fall prior to the holidays. It's a great time to be scheduling these so that we can get them out there and people purchasing for their holiday gifts. So, what happens then? So the participants in the group are going to take the order forms that you are going to supply to them. Okay. And again, I say oftentimes it depends on the size of the group. If you have, 10, 15 participants, then it's easier to supply some of the, the extra things. If you got a group of 150, and wouldn't that be just awesome? It may not be as easy to supply some of the extra things, but I'm going to show you a picture of, so like Allison here did these white envelopes with the Mia Bella logo on there, and then the ability to put the participant's name on it. So this would be a participant packet. So each one of those would have the order form that they're going to use. It's got an envelope that allows them then to collect the funds from their customers. And it will have a participant letter, something to the sellers and their parents, kind of describing, again, what is Mia Bella Candles, why it's different, why they're doing this fundraiser, maybe again, more specifically, what goal are they trying to achieve, but it's going to specifically list out what are the selling dates. You need to let them know that this fundraiser is going to be conducted from this date to this date, and your orders are going to be due by such and such date. And it's important to, on that letter, let them know who they are making checks out to. So that little packet there kind of contains everything for the participant. Okay, and the order forms are not going to include the pricing. It's going to include the 15 cents that are going to be available for purchase, and then an ability for each seller to mark how many of each cent that they want. And then in conclusion, you're going to add up how many of the sweet orange and chili pepper, how many of the pumpkin cheesecakes were sold, so that you can place that order. So the retail price is it's flexible, and that is because everybody lives in a different area that is going to incorporate different sales tax and different shipping cost. So in the past, we did a little bit differently, where we kind of started at the retail price of $19.95 and worked our way down. Now we're doing it a little bit differently, where we're working our way up. So once we kind of add all of the expenses together, then can determine how much you need to have the group sell the candle for. Okay, so in my examples here, I'm using $26. Okay, that's going to include the retail price of the candle, the shipping, and the sales tax. Now that may not be particular to your area. So again, it's your business, your area. Your upline can help you work some of these numbers to determine what the retail price should be. But you'll see in my example then, for the 16-ounce jar, I would sell it for $26. Okay, and you're going to be having the sellers collect the money at the time that they're taking the order, not when the product is delivered. So you're collecting all of the funds up front before you ever place the order with the company. So they can take checks, again, made out to the organization. It's not made out to the distributor. And that, again, kind of creates more confidence in the customers, that they know who they're writing the money out to, and that their purchase is going to be fulfilled, rather than seeing some distributor's name that they really don't know who it is. So all checks should be made out to the organization. You can accept cash as well. And okay, let's see what else. We can move down here. Oh, come on. Okay, so again, you can work with the coordinator. These are all guidelines, but you wanna make the fundraiser work for the group, for the coordinator. So there can be some variability, but the guideline is that typically you do a fundraiser over a 2-week period. You don't want it too short, because people are busy, and this often involves parents that need to pace themselves through the week. But then you also don't want to make it too long either, because then people wait and don't. Hang on a second. I'm afraid to touch that, and then I end up. I got some kind of call coming in from something. I don't want to do disconnecting you guys. So you hear that, I'll let it go here. Okay, so yeah, going too long, then people put it off thinking, oh, I've got time. And then it comes up and they're like, oh, dang, I didn't give myself enough time. I didn't plan it. So 2 weeks is really preferable. And you want to do it over a 2-weekend session. So, maybe it starts on a Monday, goes through that weekend, goes through the next week, and then finishes over that next weekend. So try to include 2 weekends in there. And then when the period is done, then you're going to work with the coordinator to gather all of those order forms and the checks. And then you're going to place the master order to Sensations then. And then you can see here, there's the distributor fundraising order form. If you click on that, it'll open up a form that you can print off. And basically it's going to list what 15 cents are available during the fall and winter. And then you're going to add up. You're going to go through each of your order forms. You've got 10, 15, 20, 50 order forms, and you're going to count, how many pumpkin cheesecakes do I need to order? How many of the holiday, cents do I need to order? So you're going to fill out that form, and then you're going to email it in to fundraising@cent-team.com. Okay. And that form is going to change. It's going to be specific to the season. So if you happen to be doing one in the spring and summer, then obviously you don't want to be using the winter order form. So just update that when those are available. Okay, now when you are doing your order, you want to kind of pay attention at that time. Are there any specials that the company is offering? Oftentimes they have that, buy 11, get 1 free. And that is awesome to take advantage of when you're doing a fundraiser and hopefully potentially ordering, dozens of jars. So try to maximize your profit by using those specials. And then you want to set the expectation with the coordinator of when are they going to get the order after they have turned into you the copy. Okay. You want to give a minimum of 2 weeks because you're gonna need to add it all up. You're gonna check it all. You're gonna gather.
Everybody can see you.
Mute or something. If you can do that, I can't. I don't think I can do that. But you're going to get one check from the group. They're going to gather all of the checks that they received in the cash and deposit it into their account. They're going to come up with the total amount that was sold, and then you're going to help them figure out what their profit is. That $8, what they get to keep. And then the rest of it, they're going to give to you in a check. So if you give yourself enough time to deposit the check, make sure it clears. If you have any, concerns about maybe something bouncing, just give it enough time that it gets into your bank. But basically, they're giving you enough money back now to pay for the wholesale cost of the candle, to pay for the shipping, and pay for the sales tax. And then whatever's left is going to be your profit. Okay, so in the example here, in the blue, hopefully you can see the blue font there, but the wholesale cost of a 16-ounce jar, and then if you've been around a while and have seen fundraisers in the past, we did use various products. We do not do that any longer. The only product that is available is the 16-ounce jars. We don't have the 9-ounce anymore. We're not selling the Bella bars. So it just makes it very simple. It's just, that's why I call this the simple classic catalog fundraiser. There's no, I've seen when my kids were in school, catalogs that would come home that would be 20 pages long. And that's all fine if you're the parent and you're sitting at home just kind of browsing through it. But it makes it really difficult if you happen to be going, door to door to your neighbors or family, and you want them to kind of quickly make a decision about supporting you and buying one of the products. It's like, oh gosh, I don't know. There's so much here. I don't know what to get. All different prices, all different products. It just complicates things. So I love that our fundraisers are so simple. It's a 16-ounce jar, no other choice. You get 15 cents to choose from, which gives you plenty of option for somebody that might like, a more floral-y type scent versus a food type scent. It gives them option, but not so much that it ends up paralyzing them then where they're like, I don't know what I want. So it's very, very simple. All right, so we only got, looks like 10 minutes left here. So I gotta go quick here. So what you're doing is then you're taking the wholesale price of the jar is $12.25, and then you're going to figure your shipping and your sales tax plus the $8 that the organization gets, and that's going to leave you with about $3 of the $26 suggested price is going to be your profit. Okay, now the way that you can figure out what your shipping is going to be is you're going to go into your back office and do a mock order. You're going to place like 12 jars into your cart. Do not check out, delete it, but it gives you an idea of, how much is it going to cost per jar to send, 12 of them to Minnesota? It's $1.58. And then I just kind of went up, and you can see the different quantities. When I got up to 120 jars, then my shipping went down to 125. So that's the number that I used for my shipping. So, if you're closer to the company on the East Coast, your shipping's going to be less. If you're on the West Coast, it's, could be more, depending upon, the more you order, the less your shipping is going to be. But the further you are away, then the more the shipping could be. So you don't really know in advance how many jars you're going to sell, but you have to come up with something, because you need to determine the retail price that the group is going to sell the candles for. So this is kind of a way to do that. So I came up with $1.25 per jar is going to kind of be my shipping cost. Now, if you are successful enough to order enough that a pallet can be sent to you, then your shipping is, even less. So anything that you might overestimate on your shipping, it's okay, because that then helps you kind of build some of your profit to help pay for some of your expenses, the order forms that you would have to order, if you use envelopes or labels, that kind of helps compensate for those. But again, don't worry about those business expenses, because that's exactly what it is. It's a write-off. Yeah, you had to pay to get the brochures, but it's a write-off on your taxes. So it's okay that we need to have those business materials in order to make money and be successful. But so that's how you kind of come up with the shipping cost. And then the sales tax, again, in your area, it's going to be specific to you. Ours in Minnesota is 7.5%. I was doing a little bit of research in other states, and some of them are as low as 5.5%. So your tax will be based upon your area. Now, if you happen to be a distributor that has a tax exempt number, or if you are working with an organization that won't be collecting sales tax, you can work with me or Allison on trying to figure all of that out. But nowadays, almost all distributors, have the company collect the sales tax. They're not tax exempt. And most of the organizations nowadays, with all the tax laws, they as well are not tax exempt. So basically, the company has determined that for these kinds of fundraisers, it's just best to be collecting sales tax. But if you're in a situation that you want to discuss with your upline leaders, we can help you kind of figure that out. Okay, so the range then typically should be between $25 and $27 as to what you're going to be having the group sell the candles for. I'll be right back. Okay, thank you. Sorry. Okay, and then it's best to try to round those dollars off. You don't want to say, because the retail price is $21.95. You don't want to do that. You really want to just make it a flat rate, not be using any cents. So, my total actually comes up to $26.15, I think it was. And I don't want the group to be trying to sell it for $26.15. I'm just going to round it off to 26 even. Make it easier for the participant. Then you're gonna, get your product. You want to have it shipped to you, not the group, because you do want to check that nothing's broken. It's a rare occasion that product coming to us, from Sensations is broken. But then again, you're giving this product to a group. You won't want to have them open a box and see something that might have been damaged, or by chance maybe something was misordered. You want it to come to you so that you can review the box, put your label on the jars, because you don't know customers. The fundraising group gets the benefit of the majority of the earnings, but the distributor's benefit is that they're basically collecting customers for you. These are people that hopefully are going to be now in your future customer base. So you want to have a label on your jar with your contact information, preferably your company website, so that when their jar finishes, they can see, oh, I just need to go to this website here and order more. Okay, so the group is helping you build your business for customers, and then also, potential distributors, and also potential more fundraisers. I had done the dance studio fundraiser, and one of the moms then came to me and said, hey, we would like to do this for the 6th grade, adventure group. So it turned into a school fundraiser. So there's a lot of benefit coming to us in various ways than just the $3 that we make for each of those purchases. So put the label on there so you get those future orders. There is an ability to have them do an online purchase. Again, that's more complicated. I would try to steer away from that because we don't have the same profit margins when we sell face-to-face. It's a lot more. A candle sale on the website, we only get a 25% commission. So that's really hard then to try to give the group, a 37, 38% when you're only making 25, and then it can be done. And so if that is a situation, we can certainly talk about it and work that out. But really, it's best to try to do face-to-face fundraising. And then once it's all completed, I guess I want to mention one thing about, how you sort the product. It's very nice if you help the organization sort by seller. Again, we're trying to make it as simple and easy for them. You're the professional. You are a fundraising professional, and you're going to show them that you're doing the work and that they don't have to do a whole lot and not understanding what your profession is. So when you get an order for, Sammy Joe, sort that product for that seller so that when you deliver to the coordinator, then each grouping is a specific seller. Now, depending on how many candles each person sold, you could use a bag and nicely, kind of decorate it if you wanted to. If you wanted to, you could put product catalogs in there. You could put a little card saying, thank you for, supporting the dance studio or their dog rescue mission. You could put a little thank you in each of the bags. So you've got some flexibility. Again, just trying to make it professional and rewarding for the group, as well as the customers then that receive the product that the group sold. If a seller has sold a lot, you may just be using the shipping boxes that have come to you. You've got 12 or 24 jars in a box. Don't feel bad about just putting all those in there. It's going to be safe. It's going to keep them from breaking as you're transporting them to the coordinator, and then the coordinator to the seller. And then once it's all completed, it's again very professional to be able to send a letter to the group thanking them for allowing you to be part of their fundraiser. Encourage to speak with you again in the future to do subsequent fundraisers, because the second, third are always going to be more successful than the first. The first time people may not be familiar with our product, and once they start burning it and loving it, and then that group comes to them again and says, hey, we're going to do another Mia Bella's fundraiser, then they get excited, like, oh yeah, those are those candles, I love those candles. So now they know the product. And we always know once you start burning a Mia Bella, you never go back to anything else. So, encourage them to stay in touch, do another fundraiser in 6 months, in a year. Maybe they did the fall, winter. Next time, maybe do a spring, summer. So just stick with them and ask them, if it was successful and they were happy with your work. Nothing wrong with asking them to provide a testimonial to you that you can then use in your future presentations to new coordinators. So that is really the basis of doing a catalog fundraiser. We have maybe just a minute here. Again, if you have questions, go ahead and go to the Facebook group, post them there. I'll be glad to answer it. I'll do the recording, but it always takes a little bit for it to download. So it may not be tonight. I'll try to get it on there, or, tomorrow. But anybody have any questions or something that I just totally confused you on that you want to address? Allison, did you have anything that maybe I didn't get?
No, you covered everything, Kathy. It is a great way to get the candles out there. People get to know our products,
Yes.
And to get repeat customers. And one other thing, how I'm finding these fundraisers lately, I'm just searching, excuse me, like local groups, like Kathy said on Facebook, your town group or whatever. You always see something pop up, whether it be a dance